Okay, welcome back everyone to our second lecture, BC314 on media and technology. We've been talking about emails. Emails, like we said, is an easy way to communicate, to inform people, engage, part of our digital engagement. But we have to be wise in how we use it. We don't want to become a nuisance to people, sending emails every day, those kinds of things. So just, we have some sense of some guidelines, how we use emails, and so on. So I'll just share with you, how we do these bulk emails. Like I was saying, in the early days, I would personally sit and I can send 30, 40, or even 200 emails like that. Okay, I break it in batches and send. But nowadays, when it goes beyond that, it's not, you can't practically sit and spend time sending emails. So we don't do that. So we use what is called as a mail server, a mail list. It's called a mailing list server, a mail list server. The one that the many, available. We use a free, open source. It's called PHP list. It's a free mail server. So we have set it up ourselves. And then you can have subscriber lists. You can maintain lists, whatever you want. So we generally had lists, and I think the main would be, let's say, a public list, a weekly sermon. This has about 15,000 people, but out of that, there are some who have not confirmed, but they will get the emails. The blacklisted, this blacklisted means they have unsubscribed, right? So then they say, I don't want to receive this, right? And then we try to also break it down by countries, and you see there's not too much there, but most of it would be in this weekly sermon email list. Like that, we have other lists. We have by locations. We have, if you want to target just the ministers in India, if you want to target only our Bible College students, we have about 3,600 here in this list. One student can belong to more than one list, right? That same email ID can belong to many lists. So these are different things that have come in. Yeah. So this is like they are unconfirmed, and the red one is like blacklisted, means they have unsubscribed. Unconfirmed means they didn't say, hey, like, so when somebody subscribes, let's say, hey, please confirm your subscription. So we have the email ID, but they haven't clicked on that link. So then it keeps that as unconfirmed, but they will still receive emails. But they can anytime. Anybody can opt out anytime. So Bible College promotion. So we just this is what we use. We can track, and then we have Hindi people, like those who want, or those who primarily speak the Hindi language. So it's like about 2,000 some India can. And we had another, let's see, India can. These are some lists here. It's got a little messy, dirty. I think we need to clean this up. But this is how generally you maintain lists and send emails. And just to show you, every email is considered like a campaign. Like when you send an email, it's considered a campaign. It'll tell you what happened to that. Let me just. Campaigns, list of campaigns. These are drafts. Okay. Example, one email was sent out about worship night. This was sent out yesterday. It was sent out to mainly to APC Bangalore list and first-time visitors. So total was about 2,800 emails were sent out. 78 was in text format, 2,000 was in HTML format. Now, usually the statistics, right now there's a problem with it. So it's not giving us the correct numbers here. But this would tell us like how many people actually saw the email, how many views and so on, how many got bounced. Bouncements may have, they blocked us, or it was a bad email ID, or it's no longer, or that email service provider is blocking emails from our domain. Sometimes things like that happen. But this data is not correct because there's a problem with our tracking mechanism. But otherwise, we'll have to fix it. So this email, it gives us a little summary. Okay, it's gone to about 2,800 people. Right? That's the invitation for the upper room this coming event. So this is for tomorrow's mentoring hour. That went to about 3,368 people. So this is mainly for BC students, right? So their invitation for tomorrow's mentoring hour went to so many people. And yeah, so like that we can keep, we know what's happening. Yeah. Or a Sunday sermon example, this last Sunday sermon, it went to about 15,000 people. This thing. These are the people who are through the sermon in the website, they've entered the email and we've collected it. So like that, bulk emails you can send very easily through this mail list server. And usually somebody in the IT team will put it together and submit. So I'm not directly involved in this. Some people handle it. And those responsible for the event would give this. For example, this mentoring hour, the content would have been sent by, either Nancy, Abinas, or Nirantari. They would send it to the IT team. Then the IT team will send it out. Right? The worship night, the content would be sent by the worship coordinators or Stephen, and then the IT team will send it out. So, so that is just a workflow that happens. Yeah. So using a mail list server like this helps us to send mass emails, bulk emails, and manage those things, and also gives people the option, if they don't want to receive emails, they can unsubscribe, then they will stop receiving those emails, right? But it's all automated. Like they click an unsubscribe button, then in this server, their name will be like unsubscribed, so they won't receive emails from us. So it's kind of automated. So this is what we are doing is very small scale. Usually churches, organizations will have hundreds of thousands of email IDs, and it goes out when they want to broadcast emails. So see, what happens is anybody, like any organization sending emails, the recipient can report it. Okay, so if I receive some email and I report that saying, then what happens if there are many reports like this, then that domain, that means the place from which they're sending, gets blacklisted. So example, Google or Hotmail or Yahoo or whoever, they will block emails from that particular domain to their email IDs. So all Gmail IDs will not receive that email from that domain. Then what will happen? The owner of that domain, they will have to appeal to whoever has blocked them and saying, hey, no, we are genuine people. Please, don't blacklist us. So those things do happen, right? And it has happened even to us, so that is one thing, if somebody reports. Secondly, if any of these email service providers like Google, Hotmail, or they feel that somebody is abusing like from one particular domain, there is lots of emails, then they automatically will block that particular domain. And usually these people who want to cause trouble, they set things up where, you kind of bombard hundreds of thousands of emails on a particular server. They pull the server down. Those they do attacks like that. So that's why they have all these mechanisms. If emails are coming in hundreds of thousands from a particular domain, then block it. So they have that automatic. It all happens automatically, right? The software is checking all these things. So that can happen sometimes, but so when our mail server running, this software running on a server in the US, we are verified, like through our own mail server going out. So even the hosting provider, that means, let's say we are running our mail server on Amazon or Google or DigitalOcean or one of our service providers, they themselves have restrictions. People should not abuse those servers. So that's another layer. So we are verified with them. So they know that, okay, bulk emails will go out from apcwo.org. Don't block it. It's their promotional campaign, whatever. So we are verified with them. So they allow us to do this bulk emails. Now, like I said, ours is very small, only, like you saw, only 15,000. Some organizations will be sending weekly hundreds of thousands because, for promotion, like especially if it's a marketing agency or a product company, they'll be sending literally hundreds of thousands of emails. So if they are verified, the servers will allow that to go. It's part of the marketing campaign. So emails is a second way by which we do this. And I'll just run through the others very quickly because we are mostly these are quite well-known ways to engage people digitally. The other one will be text messages. We used to use SMS until I don't know which year was this, a couple of years back, maybe 2 or 3 years back, the Indian government came up with the restrictions on sending bulk SMSs, so you can only send SMSs to phone numbers who have subscribed to you. You have to show them that they have subscribed and all those restrictions. So we discontinued SMSs and then we moved to WhatsApp. So we've been using WhatsApp for the last few years. No, we don't send SMSs. And, again, some guidance, when text messages, keep it short so that people can easily read it. And of course, people have to give us their mobile number. So they write it for us or they opt in for us. And then we use this service provider to broadcast. So this is a paid service. So to send these broadcast messages, we pay for it and we send it out. Like I said, we limit it to 1 or 2 messages per week. Some days, some weeks, in case of an emergency, there may be 1 extra message, but we try not to do that too often. Right? This is just one example of an old message. So, yeah, of course, there are some guidance when you're sending SMSs. You want to keep your static image sizes optimal for mobile screens. Use the JPEG format. Don't make it too heavy. Or if you're sending a video, keep it short, keep it light. And here are the typical dimensions that you use when you're sending video. Right? So these are standard things that most of us are aware of when you're sending WhatsApp messages. Another aspect for digital engagement, of course, is virtual meetings, which is what we are doing even for our classroom. A lot of virtual ways, tools to use if you want to do online video conferencing and so on. We're all familiar with it. Good practices. try to keep it at eye level, so it seems like you're looking directly at the viewers. If it's a private meeting, keep it private. Have proper lighting. Use your mic. Try to cut out background noise and so on. So these are just general practices that we use when we do Zoom meetings. Right? Another important thing is content distribution platform. So the nice thing today is we have channels through which we can distribute content globally. So think of old times past. If you write a book, you'll have to distribute it through bookstores. How you're going to distribute through bookstores worldwide is so difficult. So difficult. You have to go through a publisher. It's very expensive, right? But today we are living in a world where everything is digital. It's so easy, right? And today you can be self-publishing. In fact, all our APC books, we don't have ISBN number. That is the International Standard Book Number. We don't have it, and we purposely said we don't want it because our goal is not to make money. Our goal is not to be listed in some recognized place. Our goal is to get the word out for free, right? So keep the cost as low as possible, and we will use free distribution channels because we are giving the books for free. There's no point in paying distributors or printers to distribute the books. Free books, send it free. Right? So on Amazon Kindle, our books are free. There used to be a time when Amazon didn't allow free books. So you have to charge minimum 99 cents. So, okay, we put it that way. We didn't want the money. That money, I think, was going to donating it to some organization in the US. I can't remember. But then after that, okay, you can have free books. So our books are free on Amazon. Kindle, that's because, people search for books there. Apple, iBooks, Barnes & Noble, lots of these channels. So our books are distributed like through these channels. Put it off for free. Go there. So anyone can write a PDF, put it in PDF form or one of these formats. You can distribute it through these channels for free. It gives you a global reach. So somebody searching on Google Books anywhere in the world will find, by those titles, they'll find your book. Right?
Is there any guidelines and all?
Yeah, so each one of them will have their own guidance. They will accept certain formats and they'll tell us how to do it. So we'll have to follow those guidance. So each one of these providers. About the content, no restriction. It can be religious content. You can write anything, and nowadays you can write anything. So it's a good thing, but also a bad thing because people can write anything and push it. It's like wrong information can be put out. So it's left to the reader to discern. Right? So a good thing is you can become self-publishing. Anybody can publish and push. The negative is we have to be discerning. What I'm reading, is it true or not? But so what I'm saying is, today we are in a time when we have so many opportunities for distributing these books. Opportunities, right? So, all of us can take advantage of this. If you like to write, you can write and then submit your books to all these channels. It'll go through in PDF or their formats, and it'll go through, and you get a global exposure. And it is free. You're not spending any money. It's only time and effort. Right? You take time to write, and you take time to push. Submit it, it'll go. Okay? So as compared to if you have to go through a publisher and spend money, all that. Similarly, for audio, right? So Google Podcast has been merged into YouTube Music now. but there's so many channels, Apple, Spotify, Stitcher. So you can actually release your content. So our sermons, for example, the audio, so MP3 is released through multiple channels. So those who are interested, if they search, they'll find it, they can listen. And it doesn't cost us anything to submit. So you can actually release it through those channels. Similarly, the video. YouTube, everybody knows, lots of access, so people search, and we push our content through YouTube, and similarly through Vimeo, and then we're familiar with Facebook and Instagram, all of those things, right? You can push your content through many different channels. Okay? So it's a good thing to use. Now, of course, for example, if content is in regional language, you will have a lot of people, especially say India. Right? We have more people who want Hindi content or regional language content. Right? So that has more people, wider population, people want to listen. English, okay, mainly it'll be the city people who will watch English, cities and towns. So you'll have different, consumers of your content. But the thing is, all these digital platforms are free. Anybody can create content, anybody can push, and you have access to it. The last one I'll talk about is the church app. So we actually released our church app in 2017. That's when we started. And once again, the thought behind the church app was we wanted to be an app where we're not just talking about our events and things like that, but we want to provide content where people go back to it over and over again, right? So with that in mind, we said, okay, what kind of a content does a Christian, a believer need that would make them go back again and again? So that's when we came up with a toolkit section on the church app where, okay, I want to share the gospel. Okay, there's a quick section on how to share the gospel. I have questions that I ask. I want to know scriptures on certain topics, like those. So we created the toolkit section so that people go back and use it over and over again. And sometimes, and of course, they can submit prayer requests and also almost every day there'll be at least a few people submitting prayer requests through the church app. It comes to us. There are emails that come in saying, hey, thank you so much for the app. I like the content. They like to keep using it. So to that extent, the church app is serving its purpose, and slowly it will gain traction. Right? More people will begin to use it as we improve the content. And we've just come out with a Hindi version of that same content. So it's in a basic stage. We haven't announced it publicly, but the same English content is in Hindi. All people search Hindi. You can search and you'll get the Hindi version. Different app. Yeah, it's fully Hindi. So all people search Hindi is a Hindi version of the app. But it's the same toolkit section and the Hindi songs and the Hindi books and all that through that app. So we just released it on Google Play Store. We're just fixing some bugs and all that, but we'll make it public, announce it. The goal is a useful tool that people will go and use over and over again on their phone when they want to find some verses, quickly read a book, things like that. They will use it over and over again. Okay, so that's the end of chapter 11 on digital engagement. Any questions on what we've talked about? So the thing is, there are different ways by which we can engage people digitally. Any questions so far?
You're speaking about Hindi version, right? We can do that in the existing app only, right? Like Hindi version. You are building another app.
Yeah. Yes, we can. The answer is yes, we can. We can provide the same app multilingual. The thing is, it will make the app bulky, right? So usually when we want to, when somebody goes to Play Store or the App Store to download the app, we want to keep it very easy, fast for them to download. So within 30 MB size of the app. The more content, suppose you put Hindi, all the other languages, the app becomes very bulky. People will not like to download, such a big app, why download, occupying so much space on my phone, like that. So when we separate it out, okay, English people, you download English app. Hindi people, you download Hindi app. Because anyway, English people will not use Hindi. Hindi people will not use English. So keep it separate. We can add other languages and just download what you need. Right? And so that would be the main reason we separate it out. And then the other reasons like, content that is very specific. If you want to send broadcast messages, it can be controlled, but we don't want English messages going to Hindi users. They're like, why are they sending me a message? Things like that. It helps us keep things separate. Yeah. Any other questions? Yeah. So in the future, the plan is as things progress, we will do our app in all other languages and so on. Yeah. Okay. I'll stop here for today. We'll pick up with lesson 12 next week, which will be guidelines for graphics and video. So I just make some comments and then we'll close. See, when you have the media team and the graphics team, and even the IT team, those are technical people. They know how to do their work. But they may not be thinking from a ministry perspective. Like, usually they don't think from ministry perspective. They're, okay, you tell me what to do, I'll do. You want to make announcement, I'll make a graphic thing, right? So they may not think from a ministry perspective when they're doing their work. So it is actually beneficial to have somebody who can think both ways, right? You think you're a technical person, but think from a Christian ministry perspective, taking into account everything, other factors. So it is very important to give them the right guidance on what you want them to do. How you make the graphic, how you make the videos. Otherwise, if you leave them, they'll go some direction. And then you'll be wondering what happens. Yeah. Sometimes it may be a small mistake. Sometimes it can be some serious mistake. It is not their fault. It's just that they're doing their work, but they're not thinking from a ministry perspective, right? And so that is why you have to provide the guidance. And I'll just share next week. So many mistakes have happened. The most recent mistake was last Sunday. So see, we have a little prayer time. I'll just share this example. I'll stop. We have prayer time. 5 minutes we pray. Pray for a state, pray for India, pray for country. Now, I am not directly involved in the sense, okay, our missions coordinator, she prepares the prayer points. Okay, so she'll do for the whole month. She'll send one set to me. She'll send one set to the media team. The media team will prepare the map and the prayer point, like 2 points map and all that. They will get the map from online thing. She sends it to me for me so that I put it in the sermon notes that goes to the pastor saying, these are the 3 things we are praying for. This is some content to use when you're praying. So it goes like that. So now what happened last Sunday, we were praying for Pakistan. And again, I'm not blaming anyone, but what happened? The map of Pakistan that was used included Kashmir. So, of course, there is a dispute between India and Pakistan. about Kashmir. It's been there for a long time. But from India's perspective, you have to show what India thinks is the line. Pakistan will show their line. It's a little dispute. So what happened? Of course, our media person, I don't know, must have searched online map of Pakistan. He'd have got one map that Pakistan has put out. He put it in the prayer point. And I don't check this. It is done. We have a person who does the QA. That person also overlooked it. Checked it, approved everything. On Sunday morning, I'm happily, let's pray for Pakistan. I'm not even looking at the map. I'm just praying for Pakistan. Finished. After service, I'm getting a message. I got 2 messages. Pastor, map that was used for Pakistan, you have to be careful because the line of control was shown from their side. If any person from India sees, it could lead to the 2 different people sent. I said, I didn't realize that. I didn't even check it. I don't thought, because the thing is happening. The media team didn't think about it. The person checking everything didn't think about it. But there were 2 people in the congregation in Central who noticed it and sent me. Then I sent the feedback to media team, guys, please be careful what you do, because if somebody wants to cause problems, they can. Simply they can say, hey, these people are supporting Pakistan, Christians are in India and whatever. They can cause problems if they want to. But it was a small matter. I mean, it's just prayer. No? We can explain. But I'm just giving this as an example where the media team is doing their work. Everybody's doing their work, but some things we have to be very careful about. Hey, okay, make sure it's the right map because it's coming on live stream. You don't know who's going to watch, and it could create unnecessary problems. So this is recent, like last Sunday. But like this, there could be a lot of other issues. We'll talk about it. That's why we need to have lots of guidelines. Keep the media team, IT team, everybody in the right direction, so that the ministry is not affected. Okay? All right, so we'll pause here. We'll continue this next week. Thank you.